we will start our today's lecture and I will try to complete it as faster as possible. And when you come to mains examination, believe me, your standard textbooks other than the optional have no role to play. Again your NCERT, your current affairs, and lastly PYQs and the test series. Answer practice. The moment you pass your prelims examination, as regards GS is concerned, most of the books get sidelined. Your class notes, your NCERT, your current affairs, linking the concept with the what you call current affairs and the previous year questions. Why the previous year questions are important is, you will understand the tone of the what you call the paper setter, what he expects from you. Last year there was a question so beautifully designed. How has this work from home affected on relationships? Sala ye kaun padhayega tumko? Are you idiots not to understand ke this is what is happening in the society? Has this topic to be taught to you? Somebody said sir ये Indian society में हमको नहीं पढ़ाया, मतलब जूता निकाल के मारूंगा, ये भी पढ़ाना है. If I am asking you how the work from home concept has affected the relationships, now tell me how it has affected. Is it so difficult to write a question? Now relationship means what? First question, relationship means what? In that age bracket we are basically talking about marital relationship. Hello, are we not talking about marital relationship? Tell me one biggest negative of work from home from the perspective of relationship. Let me see how well you can think. Gap क्या रे? मैं इंట్లో కూర్చొని ఉన్నాడు వాడు. Not necessarily. The nature of job could be silently working also. Huh? She says absence of private space. Understand this. What is she hinting at is absence of private space. Believe me, no matter what, you may be son to somebody, daughter to somebody, wife to somebody, brother to somebody, husband to somebody, as an individual you have your personal space where you will not allow anybody else to come, be it your mother, father, son, daughter, wife, husband, whatever it is. So what happens is, when 24 hours you are together, that is when your personal space is what you call disturbed, and this will bring friction in the relationships. Understand this dimension very well. Most positive effect on relationships, if either of the partner needs any support system to be healthy, that can be readily extended. That can be readily extended. अब ये सोचने के लिए मुझे पढ़ाना पड़ेगा नहीं ना. So you have to understand, you need to, I am telling you, UPSC का पेपर निकालोगे ना, कुछ भी नहीं है, mains or prelims, nothing what is happening around you related with the subject, that's all. Geography का paper 1 no, geography, he linked it with GS3 disaster management, asked a question here. He linked it with environment, GS paper 3 asked a question here in GS1. Ethics का paper निकालो, entire case studies, every third question, what are the ethical dilemmas involved? After the case study is given, 4 to 5 questions are given. In that, every third question is what are the ethical dilemmas involved. It means he is wanting to check what kind of a person you are. If you are in that position, can you identify an ethical dilemma or not? To identify that ethical dilemma, firstly you should be ethical and you should give that dilemma an ethical value first of all, then only you can identify that ethical value dilemma. So understand what he is asking from you. He is not asking knowledge, come out of that. He is asking he is trying to see what kind of a person you are, and for that this will come of immense help to you, because NCERTs will allow you to make opinion about what you are learning from the book. This is the biggest advantage. Please, I tell this in my counseling, never commit the mistake of subordinating NCERTs to the standard textbook. इससे बड़ा पाप UPSC में कुछ भी नहीं है. For some reasons, South India has subordinated NCERTs to standard textbook. This has been done by commercial oriented interest, believe me. NCERTs can never be subordinated to any standard textbook. We ask you to start your preparation with NCERTs because of its ease of understanding, not because they are subordinated, they are not first stage. See, Lakshmikant wrote the polity book, yes or no? One person writing a book, and he is not a what you call academician in polity. I hope you are aware of it. He wrote a polity book which you and I all are studying, passing, becoming IAS IPS. Now imagine the NCERT book on polity has been written by 16 academicians under the supervision of a highly reputed academician. Now tell me, which book will have more value addition? Obviously, the 16 plus 1 under supervision. Now it means anything written in the NCERT, can you refute it, can you challenge it, can you question it? No, but anything written in Lakshmikant can be challenged, can be refuted, can be questioned also, right? Understand, these books are the core of your UPSC preparation. Believe me, if you commit the mistake of subordinating them after mains, especially after mains, they are the bibles for UPSC preparation. If you you don't have to do anything for mains preparation. Prelims khatam ho gaya, day 1, NCERT class 8 to 12, 6th is not required. 8 to 12, read a chapter, see the questions, try to answer, khatam. आराम से लिख कर आओगे. न्यूज़पेपर कंटिन्यूसली पढ़ो, NCERTs पढ़ो, क्लास नोट रिवाइज करो, एग्जाम लिख के आओ, एक भी क्वेश्चन मिस नहीं होगा, प्रॉमिस. नॉट इवन वन क्वेश्चन विल मिस. बट व्हाट डू वी डू इंस्टेड? स्टैंडर्ड टेक्स्ट बुक, some test series without reading the NCERTs, we stop reading the Hindu newspaper thinking that it will consume time. Gaya, the three main important things that were supposed to be the pillars of your mains preparation, we keep them aside. So what did we gain? 500 marks out of 1750 marks, name not in the final list. So don't commit this particular mistake. Okay? Now, very important. There are some myths about mains examination. Please make a note of this. There are myths about main preparation. Many students tell me, I'll start my mains preparation once I pass my prelims exam. अभी दीक्षा में लोगों को तारे दिख रहे हैं. I get comments every single day. Sir, how can you expect us to read so much in one single day? I said, congratulations, you are realized person today. Because once, just imagine, had you passed prelims exam, will the syllabus change? No, right? Well, the syllabus will remain same. It means that when you go to write your prelims examination, that day you should be ready to write your. Now tell me, so many of you wrote the prelims examination, how many of you were ready to write the mains examination? None. So what we are doing, step by step prepare करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. When the preparation is supposed to be integrated, how and why are you compartmentalizing your preparation? That is why it is said, if your orientation of preparation is mains oriented, your prelims preparation automatically happens. But what we do, first prelims pass avdamu, intlo chepdamu, peli chestaru, tarvat mains raddu. This is what is happening in the society, and this is true. Believe me. So there is no charm, there is no kick in passing prelims and failing mains. Okay? Do not get into that. This also I have heard many students saying, I don't know anything, I can't write anything. This is one more dimension. I don't know anything and I can't write anything. That is the reason why I am not writing. कैसे होगा? You will know when you will write, no, that you are knowing what to write or not. So no matter, initially the quality of output may not come, but continue to write. Need to write perfect answers. This is the biggest bane. There is no perfect answer in UPSC. There is only an answer in UPSC. There is no perfect answer. If you look for perfect answer, I will tell you about this perfect answer in some more time. Screen recording on chesara? Huh? There is no need to go for a perfect answer. Maintaining the exact word limit is a must. There are students I have seen, they are calculating their words per page. I said not required. Only you should calculate at the time of, I was doing some corrections couple of days before, one of our students, Nagarjuna. In place of 150 words target given for 2 pages, he has written 210 words in one single page. That is the reason why out of 8 questions he could write only 3. I do not have to punish him, he punished himself. I asked him to write pura answer in 150 words in 2 pages. He wrote the answer in 400 plus words with 210 words in one single page. What has happened? He killed himself, I did not kill him. So understand, when I say maintaining the exact word limit is not a must, but at the same time maintaining it is also a must. You can have a deviation of 10 to 15%. If you have more information, but you have to write it first. Okay? Factual answers get more marks. Get out of this idiotic toppers review that the factual approach gets more marks. It does not get more marks, believe me. Factual, if it in the entire answer, it should not cross at any given point of time more than 20. 20 is also very high. More than 15% of your answer cannot be factual. So do not try to retrieve data. Presentation is more important than content. This is the biggest myth. No, the content is more important than myth. See, presentation in the sense handwriting and all that stuff. If your handwriting is bad, you will be punished for sure. That is why you would have seen in the final marks list, they will give separately in a box 20 marks deducted for poor handwriting. But UPSC will not leave it aside unless and until people cannot decipher the Indus Valley Civilization script that you have written in the answer. People have to correct your paper. If the penalty is for making them go through difficult task of deciphering what you have written. And lastly, keep it a mix of paragraphs and point form. Introduction, conclusion in paragraph format, the main body can be in the point format. Please read through it. Essay ka strategy. Start writing, I will tell you something. Essay is a test of your thought process. Essay is a test of your thought process. It is a test of your liveliness to your surroundings. Your liveliness to your surroundings. It is a test of your personality to check for its socialization character. To check for its socialization character. Now, listen. Now, we are jumping into the situation where you have passed prelims examination and sitting in the examination hall, the teacher is about to hand over the script to you. This is the situation where we are, where you have passed the prelims exam, you are going to write the mains examination, you are sitting in the hall, the teacher is about to hand over the script to you. Now, do not be in a hurry to choose the essay. I have generally seen this when I counsel the students after they write the exam. They say that, sir, in a hurry I choose an essay, after brainstorming it for 10 to 15 minutes, I realized I did a mistake. Then I went back to the same list of questions, then I tried to pick the next question. Never be in a hurry. There are 8 topics, 4 plus 4. Read the first 4 deliberately, try to think, take couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, see where your mind can connect with a topic. Don't be in a hurry to choose the essay. Read through all the essays and just see where you can gather more points for deliberation. As a thumb rule, it is said that you have to brainstorm each and every essay. For those, in those 3 to 3.5 minutes, सारे essay तुम्हारे सामने brainstorming होना चाहिए. Now believe me, 3 to 3.5 minutes, 4 essays brainstorming means how fast your brain should think, and it will come with practice only. If you do not practice essay writing, believe me, time will be there. Essay लिखने के लिए sufficient time is there, but this will not move because you did not train your mind to think fastly. Try and choose an essay which others might fear, but there is a big rider. The big rider is, it should not so happen that after you choose it, you also fear. So you have to choose an essay which others might fear, but you should have a, see, understand logically, when an invigilator is correcting an essay, repeatedly same essay, will he not feel bored? If you need very good marks in essay which everybody else is writing, you have to be exceptionally good. With me, you have to be exceptionally good. Now, if you choose an essay which others might fear to choose, but you did averagely good job, believe me, you will get more than others. Believe me, because you broke his monotony. Because you broke his monotony, he also felt good reading some dimensions what you have written. But you should have some hold on that essay. ऐसा नहीं कि तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं आता और just to make an impression, that will not happen. That will create a negative impression. Brainstorming before you start writing is a must. Brainstorming is that rough work. As a thumb rule, 3 hours, and you have 2 essays to write. Out of 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 2 essays you have to write. As a thumb rule, what the teacher says, half an hour you have to do brainstorming in the rough work. Half an hour you have to do brainstorming in the rough work. Why half an hour is, if you remember in the last class on mains, I spoke about in half an hour you should be able to write 3 10-marker questions. It means you should be able to write 6 pages in half an hour. In 1 hour it will become 12 pages. You get 11.5 pages to write an essay. It means 1 hour is enough to write an essay. For 2 hours, 2 essays, and the remaining 1 hour, half an hour brainstorm. When you do correct brainstorming, the flow of thought will happen seamlessly. If you do not do the brainstorming correctly, your essay will be haphazard. Haphazard essays will not get marks. Believe me, the most strict correction in UPSC is of essay paper only. The most strict correction in UPSC is of essay paper. The reason is, the UPSC will tell the invigilator that this essay paper forms the genesis. If at all 2 students get the same mark, the essay will decide who will get the higher rank. So that is the reason why the UPSC will tell the invigilators, be critical when you give marks for the essay. So that is the reason why the toughest correction is of essay. In the GS paper, he will forgive you for your vocabulary, he will forgive you for your grammatical mistakes, he may forgive you for your spelling mistakes also. In a hurry you would have written, small spelling mistakes, he may forgive you, but in the essay he will not forgive. So understand, that is the reason why in essay your vocabulary, your presentation, your language, your center formation, your connectors, I will talk about them, the entire seamless flow of thought, examples from your life, exceptional eminent person's life, everything has to be in sync with each other. That is the reason why that 30 minutes of brainstorming is required. In the Diksha program, when do you have your essay? This Sunday? I don't know, I don't remember. Diksha program, Monday. Okay, maybe. One more suggestion, no controversial figures no Rakhi Sawant in the essay, no controversial figure, no Amit Shah in the essay, or instances as example, neither persons nor instances. Even if you try to bring in a controversial issue, say for example Babri Masjid issue, for example the Godhra riots issue, for example now the ongoing Northeast issue, you have to bring it purely within the constitutional limits only. Nowhere in the entire examination paper personal comments के लिए कोई जगह नहीं है. You will not name any political leader present, alive or dead and make a remark which is negative in its tone. You may hate Modi from the core of your heart, but you cannot write I hate Modi. Modi is bad, you cannot write. Or you cannot say BJP is bad, Congress is good. You cannot write these things. The moment you write, your correction would be withheld, believe me. Your correction would be withheld because that would be construed as an identification mark to identify your paper. So your result would be withheld, your papers will not be corrected. So do not do these kind of mistakes. No Om, no Aham, no Omkaram, nothing in the paper. Please don't do that mistake. Personal life examples carry more marks than the life examples of eminent person. We generally have the habit of writing, generally एक essay में APJ अब्दुल कलाम आ ही जाता है, एक essay में गांधी आ ही जाता है, एक essay में मदर तेरेसा आ ही जाती है. So whenever you are writing an essay, try to understand your own personal life examples carry more weightage than the life examples of eminent personalities. Okay? So try to write, because we go back to Buddha, we go back to Mahavira, we go back to Ashoka, all these things are okay, fine. But when you have an idea of making a life example of your own self, trying to portray how you reacted in that situation, that will get you more marks than anything else. One more thing, there is a difference between essay writing and story writing. There is a subtle difference between essay writing and story writing. Story writing is in a time span. Understand, what is happening in that story, the language and the tone defines the sequence of events in a story. If at any given point of time your essay is turning into a story, it has to be mindful. You have to be mindful of this fact that you are turning your essay into a story. You will be punished if you do that mistake. Okay? And lastly, quotes. I have heard people saying that writing quotes every page is a must. Believe me, even if you do not write even a single quote in your essay, you will still get good marks. If you know it, starting with a quote is like, that it is like that, first ball Sehwag 6. Okay? It is something like icing on the cake. It is said that you have these team meetings, cricket team meetings. Sehwag was never called for any team meeting. Ganguly ko once the news reporter asked why you don't call Sehwag for any team meeting. He replied very simply, there is no point calling him, because if I ask him Sehwag Samal ke khelna, first ball 6 marega, and he will look at me because I am in the non-striker end and I get angry unnecessarily. I told him to play safely and this fellow will come in the front foot and maro 6. So that is the reason why they have understood he is a player who cannot be restricted to a rule book. He will play what is going on in his mind, based on that he will play. So you understand that there is no fixed way of doing anything in UPSC. If you know a quote, you write it. If you do not know a quote, you don't write it. I have seen some students making notes of the quotes. Not required, not required. Believe me, if you have the metal in you, the quotes are not required in essay. I am not saying not required, they are not compulsory. They are not compulsory. Please make a note. This I have told you. Try to keep it more on individual perspective. One more dimension is, in the essay, in the essay, try to dwell more on the abstractions than on the factual dimension. See, what differentiates a philosophical essay with a general essay? Anybody? what differentiates a philosophical essay with a general essay? What is the difference? I have seen people drawing diagrams in philosophical essay. मैं बोला यार मुश्किल है. हाँ, what differentiates a philosophical essay from a general essay?
Philosophical essays have to bring out the heart, the context, the inner meaning of what is
Abstract. Abstract. Understand the meaning of the word abstract. It means you will not dwell on a factual dimension. You will dwell on a emotive dimension. That's what she was trying to say. On a emotive dimension. Right? Understand this. That is how a philosophical essay is different to a general essay. Right? That's the reason why if you see the last 2 to 3 years, पहले क्या होता था? The part A used to be general essay, part B used to be philosophical essay. When it started, everything was general essay. Gradually they shifted to part A, part B, part A general essay, part B philosophical essay. Now they have said all philosophical essays, no general essay. Now, even in a philosophical essay, you can bring in some factual dimensions to support your viewpoint, which is abstract in nature. It cannot so happen to support to a factual point, you bring an abstract element. No. You have to bring in an abstract element, and to support an abstract element, you can bring in a what you call a. Can anybody give an example? When say for example, women education से लेके कोई बात हो रही है in the essay, you are dwelling upon a dimension related to women education in a particular paragraph. Now, if you write, the nation should feel proud today. There was a time when only 8% of the women were even literate. Today is the time has come when women are excelling in all the educational fields. Now, what you do is immediately to support this abstract element, where you are sharing an emotion that you are happy that the women are coming forward, and now women are claiming as a matter of right that they can safeguard the frontiers of the nation also. And now you can also talk about, say for example, environment का तुम dimension लेते. Example, at the time of independence or at the 18th, 19th, 20th century, extraction of resources was considered to be a birthright. If you see the mining activity, the coal mining, the gold mining, the land mining, the sand mining activities, extraction of natural resource was considered to be a birthright without any element of environmental sustainability. But now today, environmental sustainability की हम बात कर रहे हैं. That is the reason why in 2022 mains paper there was a question on environmental sustainability. Polity environment को जोड़ के question दिया. He says which are the Supreme Court what you call acts or case laws where Supreme Court is trying to bring in environmentalism as core dimension of constitution. See, environment को ले जाके polity के साथ mix किया. So understand this dimension, how UPSC is thinking, and be prepared for it, right? So that's how to explain an abstract dimension you can take the help of a factual content, but not vice versa. Graduate in essay, what does it mean? I keep telling no, individual dimension, familial dimension, societal dimension, community dimension, district dimension, state dimension, national dimension, international dimension, human dimension, humanity dimension, nature dimension. So you are graduating, where you are starting from self, going to humanity, and then again going back to the nature. Okay? So this is called graduating in any dimension. So this is called graduate in your essay. So when you start your dimension in essay, it may be self, but gradually it should move away from, it cannot be only self, no. It has to graduate from self to a dimension where the humanity dimension, where the, you know in GS, they always talk about this PESIL analysis. They talk about this PESIL analysis in GS, political, economic, what you call social, technological, legal, environmental. For writing a GS, the PESIL analysis is the best approach, but this PESIL analysis does not work in philosophical essay. So that's the reason why what we do, we go to this graduation concept in essay. Then maximum of 6 to 8 dimensions. You cannot take more than 6 to 8 dimensions to write the essay. What is a connector, Rashmi? What is a connector in essay? What is a connector in essay? One paragraph to another paragraph, one viewpoint to other viewpoint. For example, you talk about midday meal scheme in some dimension in your essay, or you talk about education in some dimension in your essay, literacy rate, where the the literacy rate has gone more than 70%. Now you want to bring in a negative element related to literacy. The next paragraph you will write ironically. Now this word ironically became a connector. So when the readers reads a particular paragraph that you are supporting that it is so good that India became literate, 70+% people are literate. Ironically, it is so disturbing that even when the 70% plus population is literate, educated and all, the crime against the women have not come down. So what you did, you forced him to connect the previous para with the next paragraph. So that is called a connector. However, similarly, if, but, anyways, neither, nor, these are all what? Connectors in essay. Understand? See, essay is an art. It is not cognition. Essay is not cognitive. Essay is abstract. So you have to develop this what you call art of writing. As I told you earlier, the use of factual information to be limited in the essay. So now, how to practice essay? Generally, you get these quotes, no? You good morning quotes, good night quotes, hate quotes, love quotes, cheat quotes. All these quotes, try to pick up any dimension and try to write an essay. Try to understand. I also keep giving you, when I take the essay classes, I give lot of homework. I am sure none of you will write the essay. Take some time to pick a topic and write the essay. The best is previous year questions. The best is previous year questions. Pick them up and try to write the essays. Over a period of time, the improvement will naturally come. Believe me, in essay, it is challenging to write for 11.5 pages. And I told you not more than 6 to 8 dimensions. It means you have to go deep into that dimension. It is not easy to write an essay. Yes, after the essay, our approach to the GS part. GS paper 1. The moment the paper comes in the hand, what you are supposed to do? Please see. What we will try to understand what we are supposed to do the moment the paper comes in our hand. What we are supposed to do? What we do is, we are in a hurry to write the answers. No, you will read all the questions once from 1 to 20. Pick the questions which you feel my strength questions. Where you feel I know about this well, I can deliver it well. Tick those questions. Take a minute to write the subject next to the question. Polity POL, economy ECO, geography GEO. So that in a 20 questions paper, you know how many subjects, how many questions. And everybody has a strength area and a weak area. The moment you see there are 5 questions from the area that are your strength area, you jump to that area to write the answers. And always remember, say for example, 1 to 4 is polity questions. Remember, listen. 1 to 4 is polity questions. You will never ever write the first answer in any paper firstly. You will never ever write the first answer in the first paper ever. Why? Because what happens is the flow of thoughts and the movement of pen, the coordination takes time. It will take 5 to 10 minutes for the coordination. Even if you know the first answer best, you will not start with that answer, second or third answer. Why? Because by that time your flow of hand and the mind and hand coordination will be excellent. That is when the flow of thoughts will come. Come back to the first question either after second or the third answer, but do not forget to write the first question. Always understand this dimension. See, UPSC एक GS का पूरा पेपर 1% does not correct. Understand this dimension also. The same person will not correct 1 to 20 questions. It is not so. They are given section wise responsibilities. 8 to 11 you will do, 12 to 16 somebody else will do. It is like that, it is given. So even in section wise distribution of the questions, says 4 to 6, so 5 to 8 is geography. Even in that section wise, fifth answer you will not write first. You will write the sixth answer first, then come back to the fifth answer. Always remember this, because the moment an invigilator takes out his section for correction, say fifth question was his first question, if it is not your best answer, he will be forced to be what you call opinionated on your remaining answers. So give time for your flow of thoughts in that subject and come back to that subject again. These are small tricks. Okay? Remember the time limits. Don't get carried away for expected questions in the paper. I have seen this. The moment I have studied a topic, it is there in the paper, my entire mind concentrates on that, where I feel like submitting a research paper to the UPSC so that they can bring in the change in the society. Nobody is bothered with your answer. You have to write 150 words in 9 minutes. That's all the logic. 150 or 250 words, whatever it may be, you will get purely 9 minutes. So understand, do not get carried away for expected questions in the paper. Expected or unexpected, your performance has to be the same. Don't get bogged down for difficult or unknown questions when you are doing this. Do not get bogged down. Don't worry. Believe me, even the topper will not know 2 to 3 questions in any question paper. So you are no different than them. You are not supposed to know all the questions. The beauty of UPSC mains is you should know how to write even if you do not know the question. That's the beauty of UPSC. So there would be 2 to 3 questions which you may not be aware of. So how to deal with those questions, I will talk. Take a deep breath for a minute and then start writing. Generally what we do is, we do not concentrate on your breathing, when we are doing something very important. Unconsciously it happens. So now you have to consciously take a minute to breathe properly, then start your answer writing. Remember, never ever start with the first question. Never ever, no matter even if you have done PhD in that question. You will not write that question first, come what may. Okay? Addressing the question. When you see the question, read the question twice before writing. This is what 99% of you don't do. Read the question twice before you start writing. Read the demand of the question correctly, what he is expecting from you. Underline the catch word. Identifying the catch word is the most difficult task in UPSC. See, the question that we just now discussed couple of minutes before. Yeah, what is the question saying? What is the question saying? The most significant achievement of modern law in India is the constitutionalization of environment problems by whom? Supreme Court. Discuss this statement with the help of relevant case laws. What is he doing? He is mixing your polity with और तुम लक्ष्मीकांत की किताब पढ़ के जा रहे हो, कैसे लिखोगे? The question is very simple. Believe me, the question is very simple. If at all you have learned the art of integrated learning. Geography में क्या करेगा? Geography, environment ecology, करंट अफेयर, एग्रीकल्चर, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी मिला के क्वेश्चन बनाए। तुम क्या कर रहे हो? ज्योग्राफी नोट्स पढ़ के जा रहे हो, कैसे लिखोगे? What you have to do is, the moment you open up a geography, cyclone concept, he will tell cyclone किधर हुआ, current affairs. There was a question last year, if I remember correctly, rubber producing states internationally, economy, rubber producing internationally, because we went into an agreement with some of those countries. Third, geography, rubber production is concept of geography, production, agriculture, current affairs. लिखो, लिखना नहीं आएगा, understand. That is when I am trying to tell you have to integrate your subjects when you prepare. Second question more beautiful, sorry, second question is more beautiful, if I remember it correctly. Right of movement and residence throughout the territory of India are freely available to the Indian citizens, but these rights are not absolute. ये क्वेश्चन क्यों पूछा बताओ? Why this question came in the paper in the first place? Why this question in the paper? Because somebody would have claimed his right to movement in our country as a matter of right who was a foreigner. Hello. Right to freedom of movement, article 19, 1D and E, उसी की बात करते हो ना? There are restrictions also, article 19 bracket में 5, subsection 5, restrictions can be imposed. Understand? Many, there are various what you call occasions when the right to movement of individuals can be. Security is one dimension, the tribal area is another dimension, law and order is another dimension. You can stop the prostitutes movement from a particular area on the name of law and order. That's the reason why the lot of uproar giving them right to have the what you call brothels wherever they want to. So the question came, I told you UPSC paper is a reflection of your surroundings, what is happening. What he will do, the current affair, the concept and some tricky dimension to the question. Now you sit and write. Just see how beautifully they are designing the paper. We are unnecessarily complicating it. वो complicate नहीं कर रहा है, हम ही कर रहे हैं. To what extent in your opinion has the decentralization of power in India changed the governance landscape at the grassroots? 1. What is grassroots? Yes or no? How the the question is, ये है core catchword, has. हम इसको भूल जाते हैं, इसको याद रखते हैं, इसको याद रखते हैं. He did not ask that. He simply asked, in what way, in your opinion, has, we forget this has, there. You give a completely different answer. He is not interested. He wants to say, has it? Yes, positively, no, negative. You write whatever you want to write, he will not give you marks. Discuss the role of Vice President of India as the chairman of Rajya Sabha, because मोदी का झगड़ा हुआ था वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के साथ, the older one. Venkaiah Naidu was a vice president. There was small tussle. Firstly, he did not want to become vice president. So, I told you the story of mushroom, no? Mushroom was in the newspaper, in the paper, prelims paper में mushroom was there, no? Because Modi was eating 80,000 रुपए का एक mushroom, 5 mushrooms every day, 4 lakh rupees cost to the exchequer. Every single day, one parliamentarian raised this issue in the parliament. Where is the money being paid from? He asked a question on mushroom. So understand, you have to be alive to what is happening around you. And if you do not catch the word, one question I wanted to show in this paper only, last year only. Sorry. Discuss the role of National Commission for Backward Classes. We all know this is a constitutional body, no? So discuss the role of National Commission for Backward Classes in the wake of its transformation from a statutory body to a batao. If I have given constitutional status to a body, in what way the role of that body changes? Role, power नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ. Role. Discuss the role of, the catch word is role. The role of National Commission for Backward Classes in the wake of its transformation from statutory body to बोलो. Give me fact to support your statement. अरे 2 मिनट हो गए, 9 मिनट टाइम से आंसर लिखना है, जल्दी बोलो. I am asking related to role. अरे 150 वर्ड्स आंसर चाहिए मेरे को. 9 minutes, time is running. You are sitting in the examination hall, 2.5 minutes passed by. You did not understand what is the demand of the question. If this happens for 2 questions, it is enough for you to faint in the examination hall. It is enough for you to faint in the examination hall. Now you understood this question is straight from NCERT. The problem is हम लक्ष्मीकांत के भरोसे गए थे और he asked a question from, believe me, entire mains paper, NCERT, current affairs, PYQ. That's all. No matter which subject it is, history, polity, economy, geography, whatever it is. The golden words are, you go to Delhi, people will chew NCERT every day. Why? Because they know यही नौकरी दिलाएगा. और तुम क्या करोगे? विकास बुक स्टोर को करोड़पति बनाओगे. हर दिन जाके एक नया बुक लेकर आओगे. It is straight away जाके पढ़ना आज. Straight away जाके पढ़ना. Picked up from NCERT as it is without applying any head. Understand? So that's what I am saying. When you prepare for your mains, underlining the catchword is important. The moment I restricted you to include any point related to power in the question, were you able to write anything? No. You could not give me one single point. How the role of an institution changed the moment it was upgraded from statutory to. There is a difference between role, objective, aim, power. It is all different. Understand? Aim is a broader perspective, objective is a narrower perspective. Role is a broader perspective, power is a narrow perspective. Understand? Understand? The biggest role it got is to safeguard the interests of the backward classes against state excesses. फर्स्ट लाइन लिखा है बुक में और हमको वो आइडिया स्ट्राइक भी नहीं हुआ, बिकॉज वी डू नॉट नो व्हाट इज अ रोल. विथ मी? अंडरस्टैंडिंग? इट इज नॉट easy to write answers unless and until you develop the art of answer writing. once the art develops, believe me, you will enjoy writing. The reason why I enjoy writing more than prelims is because I have developed over a period of time the art of writing. So you also have to develop. Okay? Understand the intent of the examiner. Every question he is expecting something from you. What is the intent of asking this question? If it was in news, it means he is checking whether I have read the news or not. If it is in what you call discussions related to the concept, for example, if an institution has been upgraded from statutory to constitutional, somebody would have fought for it. फालतू में थोड़ी करेगा. And there could be some reason for doing it. Political agenda भी होगा. Some pressure groups would have been working in that particular direction. If you know that there has been a demand to give constitutional status to the National Commission for Backward Classes for the past 3 decades, eventually in this year this finally happened. The moment if you write this, the examiner got an information, this fellow knows the origin, this fellow knows the duration, this fellow knows finally when it actually happened. It means that this fellow is a well read fellow. Understand the dimension. Okay? That is the reason why reading in depth is more important. Okay? Try to stay close to the core issue under discussion. In that question, the core issue, environment का question क्या था? The constitutionalization of environmental dimension. There are 2-3 acts, very beautiful acts of the Supreme Court के case laws है, beautiful case laws. So understand, see why we say Hindu paper is the Bible is, all your editorial articles will talk about them only. That is the reason why reading an editorial page of Hindu is utmost important for your mains. The till such time, see what do you understand by constitutionalization? का मतलब क्या है? What is the idea of constitutionalization? का मतलब क्या है? Okay, he says giving it more tooth. The moment you put something in the constitution, before the it is beyond the no, it is not beyond the legislature, it is very much within the legislature 368. It is beyond the arbitrary reach of the government or vocabulary, it is beyond the arbitrary reach of the government. It means if it has to be amended, a special procedure has to be taken. So understand, he is asking a very important issue, constitutionalization. The moment your introduction starts, today we have come to a stage wherein the constitutionalization of facets related to environment protection are not only recommendatory but are mandatory if humankind does not want to see its own perils. Can we say we can draw examples from the countries like Ecuador or Bolivia which have already given constitutional status to the environmental protection? And time is not far when not only constitutionalization, including them in the basic structure doctrine can only save our environment. Who is stopping you? The moment you write this introduction, गया वो इनविजिल लेटर तुम्हारा फोन नंबर मांगेगा, ये कौन है, इससे मैं मिलना चाहता हूँ. So understand this dimension. He is seeing how you are able. See, intent क्या है? Are you supporting my statement or not? This is the intent. You do not know any case laws of the Supreme Court, but still you could write a good answer. Yes or no? You may not. You see, that's what I said. You need not know everything in mains, but you should know what to write. Without mentioning any case laws, whether it is A.K. Gopalan in the right to movement, A.K. Gopalan का केस है, खड़क सिंह का केस है, बहुत केसेस है. So when I am not writing any case law but supporting my viewpoint with proper evidences, बोलीविया में हुआ, इक्वेडर में हुआ, मेरे पास क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? So understand this, he is seeing whether your thought process matches with my thought process or not. UPSC ने पेपर सेट कर रहा है और तो कोई नहीं कर रहा है. So understand this, you have to think the way he thinks. You cannot think the way the author of a book thinks. No. You have to think the way he wants you to think, UPSC. So you have to write it like that. ठीक है? Try to stay close to the core issue, okay. Draw a sketch of your answer in mind before you even start to write. The problem is, when we see a question, we think what is to be written in the main body. That's the problem. What should be the crux of your question ka answer is what you think. If you think what should be the intro and conclusion before the main body, automatically your main body will come into play. But what we think of the main body. If you are thinking of the main body and writing the introduction, your introduction is short because your mind is busy in main body. Gaya, because you are trying to impress him in the main body, but when he is testing you standing outside your gate, he is not interested to see your bedroom, he is trying to make an opinion seeing your drawing room. He says drawing room, bedroom बाद में देखेंगे, पहले drawing room देखते कैसा है. Your drawing room is bad because you concentrated your entire energy on making your bedroom. गया वो शायद वहाँ तक आएगा भी नहीं. Understand this logically. ठीक है? So thinking, draw a sketch in your mind कि before you even start to write, how am I supposed to address this question? ठीक है? Believe me, every question, if you have studied for prelims in UPSC, every question could be written in mains. Every question, provided you have developed the art of writing. Provided you have developed the art of writing. History के लिए straight start with the history paper 1. Students can start with the previous year's mains questions, history. That's the best way to start. As before, the best source is NCERTs is the best source. When you write an history answer, I was expecting somebody will do in this Diksha 4-5 days. Try to add specificity by adding dates, personalities and specific events to an issue. None of you did even to a single question. None of you did. In Diksha, till what I have corrected. Today's papers I have not seen because today was related to Santal Hool. Many people messaged me, sir, what is a hool? अब मैं क्या करूं? A hool is a rebellion. Hool is a local slang for rebellion. People asked me, sir, what is a hool? I said, you go to school, then you will understand what is a hool. Huh? Specificity. See, history is a specific subject. History is a specific subject. You have to mention, you have to be specific. If I ask you a question of history, why in the first place Congress agreed for the partition? Don't say capture of power, not accepted. Maybe 10th point or 11th point. Huh. Huh. See, Congress in the national movement had two objectives, two goals or two objectives. What were the two objectives? One, अंग्रेज को भगाना है. टू, इंटीग्रेटिंग माई कंट्री. यस और नो? अंग्रेज को भगाने में तो सक्सेसफुल हो गए, इंटीग्रेटिंग द कंट्री में नहीं हो पाए. इट मीन्स द कांग्रेस एज द पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप ऑफ आवर कंट्री ड्यूरिंग द फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल failed in one of its objective but succeeded in the other objective of sending away the Britishers, right, but failed in ensuring integration. And the biggest reason behind this failure is the ill intention of the Britishers, right, with an intention to what you call again balkanize India into small territories, which could again be re-established as colonies. Understand the bigger intent. Now the seeds of this were already sown 1905 when the Bengal partition happened, then 1907, then 1909, then you talk about the what you call the R.C. Rajagopalachari formula, you talk about so many other dimensions, the Minto-Morley reforms. Everywhere tacitly, not openly, tacitly Congress accepted this division. It means it is only a matter of time that partition was to happen, matter of time, and we knew that because the moment you accepted Muslim majority provinces, separate electorates, it means tacitly you agreed for the partition of the country, yes or no? It was only evident, yes. What could have been avoided is the bloodshed. What could have been avoided is the bloodshed, which they failed to do. So this is the biggest blot that remained. One more dimension you can talk. You can say the Congress leadership felt even if we get partitioned, it would be for a short period of time. The moment the Britishers go, we will come back again. The Akhand Bharat concept that we talk about today, it is living that dream only, that the partition is temporary, will become another Akhand Bharat again. Now the question is, same dimension what I spoke earlier, the question is, if you want to avoid partition, you have to give extensive power to the state and a weak center. It will finally result in. So you have to gulp this medicine that you have to agree with the partition of York. You talk about the Mountbatten plan, you talk about the Montague-Chelmsford reforms plan, every dimension is talking about that tacitly about the partition. Understand this, if you cannot bring in this dimension in your answer, you can never write an answer. I have leaked a question to you. अक्लमंद को इशारा काफी, आशा को समझ में आ गया है. I have leaked a question to you, I shouldn't have. Now understand, when a question is asked to you, वो पूछना, see, if you are expecting a direct question in UPSC in mains, there is no bigger fool than you. He will never ask a direct question to you. Do not expect a direct question. 20 में से एक आएगा, एक ही आएगा, एक से ज़्यादा भी नहीं आएगा, ठीक है? Understand. In history, you have to be specific, you have to give dates, you have to give the personalities. If not, try to use the names of the kingdoms or the kings or contemporary travelers or books. So whenever you are writing something, it means you have to support it with facts and figures. Obviously for paper 1, see paper 1 is one paper in the entire UPSC where in every answer there can be a map or a diagram, including geography, including society, including art and culture, including history, where you can draw a map probably in every question, probably, and the map should come immediately after introduction, and the map or the diagram should be self-explanatory. You need not explain the diagram again, Nietzsche, no. Proper labeling, proper explanation within the framework of diagram should happen, which needs lot of practice, which needs lot of practice. Understand this dimension, okay? Geography is another high yielding topic. Yes, as I told you, for geography students can refer NCERTs. I used to refer Majid Hussain. There are a couple of other books which have come in the market, equally good, equally bad. Any book is okay, but at the end of the day it is NCERT. At the end of the day it is NCERT. I told you, if you see the last year's paper of geography, all the questions linked from current dimensions, not some, all the questions linked from current dimensions. ठीक है. There is a need to integrate GS3 also, disaster management, environment, bringing here, agriculture, bringing here and asking a question. Do you want me to open a GS3 paper? You can do it at home? Okay, good. Practicing of maps is a must. Society, the only book I have read and I feel is excellent is Indian Society by Ram Ahuja. I am not advertising for him, but whatever I have read, I have been reading it. Lot of books by Karthikeyan has come, Karthikeyan is governance, not society. Ram Ahuja is a good book. Okay? Other than that, see, you may see there are some subjects in UPSC which are neglected in the process of preparation. Out of all those subjects, this is the subject, society, most neglected subject. 99.99% institutes do not even teach society, do not even teach society. Post independent India is not taught, society is not taught, because last year world history में से एक भी question नहीं आया. People have stopped teaching world history. But if the question comes, UPSC, you know, right, 5 सवाल डालेगा, you will not know where to look. ठीक है? So do not neglect it. And society or social issues, 100% current affairs. 100% current affairs. So society is also a subject, and most of it is a collection of your editorial articles from The Hindu. So identify a prospective social issue while in the news and mark it as a social issue for your mains examination. अगर यहाँ नहीं पूछेगा ना, एथिक्स में केस स्टडी में पूछेगा. अगर केस स्टडी में नहीं पूछेगा, एस्से में पूछेगा, फिलोसॉफिकल एस्से में पूछेगा. ठीक है? अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज द जीएस का मेंस पेपर. I just want you to concentrate where the marks are distributed. Just see. How many marks? 50, 25, 25. How many marks? What is the subject? Out of 250, 100 marks. What is the subject? Social issues. What are the marks? What is the subject? Here. What are the marks? 75. You have crossed 200. Understand this, how he is giving weightage. Believe me, this year mains, it will cross this figure, this paper will cross this figure. And you see this, it will not be this time. There will be a shock from this subject, which is world history. शॉक आएगा. अंडरस्टैंड. यूपीएससी को पता है बदला कब लेना है. ठीक है? हाँ. सो अंडरस्टैंड वेयर द क्वेश्चंस एंड सी ओनली सम इश्यूज, बाकी कहीं से नहीं आ रहा है. ही इज टायर्ड ऑफ आस्किंग फ्रॉम पॉवर्टी, पॉपुलेशन डेवलपमेंट. नाउ he is linking environment with polity, environment with geography, environment with current affairs, environment with international relations. All this linking he is doing and he is asking. ठीक है? Why? Because India is now thinking of being the world leader of environment protection. So that is where this idea is coming. अरे इस स्लाइड को बनाने में मेरी माँ मर गई, इतना टाइम लगा इसको बनाने. के इट इज सो मच ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन दैट आई वाज स्ट्रगलिंग because some dimensions in some year, some dimension not in this year. Nobody did this classification. Not there on internet anywhere. You go. ठीक है? GS2. Most favorite paper of generally all the UPSC aspirants. Most favorite. Why? Because generally the questions are direct. Generally the questions are direct. two major dimensions, polity and international relations. Polity and international relations. So what is the idea? First go through the Lakshmikant just once, then start and end with NCERTs and connect with the current affairs and close the issue. This is one paper which is known to be overemphasized by the students. Students overemphasize preparing this polity dimension. Believe me, any student of UPSC, he always banks on polity for his success, whether it is prelims, whether it is mains. He always banks on the performance in GS paper 2 for crossing that golden figure of 400 in GS. So understand how important the polity paper is, and if you spoil this paper, you are out of the race. So understand the importance of polity as a paper. Very important. News, connect. One dimension I will tell you, keep an eye on these two dimensions. Definitely 2 to 3 questions expected milega to. One is the constitutional appointments, the second is important judgments. If at all something has happened, it will come. I will give you a list of topics paper wise. GS paper 2, GS paper 3, GS paper 1, GS paper 4. I will give you a list of topics, kahan se questions aayega. Believe me, I will hit 85%. I will hit 85%, 85% will be the success rate. Usme se hi sawal aayega. Because over a period of time, we have understood how this guy is picking up an issue related to a particular subject. The way we did it for prelims, we will do it for mains also, don't worry. For example, these were the issues that were in news related to polity, yes or no? Major issues. It is only last 2 months, I did not research much. Last 2 mahine mein mil gaya sare topics. All these topics have been covered in the weekly current affairs class. All these topics. This was also in news, no? Forum shopping, this was in news. Forum shopping, yes or no? What is forum shopping? When you, news, forum shopping, इतना बड़ा आर्टिकल आया हिंदू में. Forum shopping is when you look for a specific judge for a specific case. You know, this judge is very critical when it comes to women centric issue. The moment a case related to women centric issue comes, death penalty is confirmed. So people will try to avoid him to be the judge for that particular case. If we know he is a judge who is very particular related to environment protection, if any permission of a particular company related to environment protection has to be fought against, they will ensure that the case does not go to that particular judge. The biggest crime in judiciary, if at all it is where which case to be given to whom. It is called the listing of cases. Judiciary का black hole है ये, listing of cases. Nobody can question the judiciary why a particular case has not been listed till date. That's the beauty. What happened to your CAA? People have forgotten what is CAA also. Yes or no? Because they did not even list it. If they do not list it, judgment will not come. If the judgment will not come, the status quo will. Nobody can question because already the law act has been passed. So what are they playing with? The moment judiciary wants to seek anything from the government, they will say CAA अभी तक लिस्ट नहीं किया, ये नहीं देगा, कल सुबह लिस्ट कर. और किसको दे रहा हूं? जो खतरनाक जज है. Understanding? So the bargaining is happening between the executive and the judiciary on the pretext of listing. And in the India forum, the Supreme Court Chief Justice spoke about this listing. He said, we are bringing in a technology support where certain algorithms will decide which case has to be listed and to be gone to which judge. No human intervention would be there. The moment human intervention is there, there is a high probability of corruption. So he is talking about this. So whenever you write any question related to certain improvements in the judicial functionings, always talk about this issue. ठीक है, ऐसा हर एक सब्जेक्ट का you have to make list of topics important for mains examination. Believe me, you will strike more than 80%. International relations, if you have been covering the current affairs well, if your concepts related to IR are well grained, they are well grounded, you can write IR questions aram se. But believe me, writing an IR question is difficult. So you need to develop the art of writing IR ka question, because IR, the question looks simple, but the writing is very difficult in IR. Yes. Listing, nobody. That's the beauty. क्या होता है? In a court there is somebody known as a superintendent, who is the one who does this. Lot of corruption happens there. Believe me, lot of corruption happens there. Come again? It is not CJI's job to list the case. CJI खुद भी तो जज है, उसके पास भी तो लिस्टिंग हो रहा है. He is also sitting, no? अगर वो बही खाता लेके बढ़ जाएगा, अरे 67,000 केसेस पेंडिंग, ओके 35 जजेस 45 जजेस, ओके 1 to 2 वो करता रहेगा, तो फिर वो कब करेगा काम? It is not the, definitely it happens under his supervision, but he is not the one who is doing it. When he is supervising it, he can manipulate it. Simple logic. ठीक है, understand this. In some dimensions, मिली भगत चल रही है, ठीक है, understand that. See, IR is one subject, as I told you, where all we are investing, whom all we are trading, where all our dignitaries are visiting is important. If you keep a tab of the visits, President is not important, Prime Minister. President is only sent as a Rajdoot, just to see the depth of the water, how he is received, how well we can collaborate with them. So President always goes first, then the Prime Minister goes. From the response from the other side, it is decided whether to send the Prime Minister or not. For that purpose only the President का office अभी भी है, ठीक है. I will ask some disturbing questions related to President in your mains answer. President, Vice President, Governor and all. Questions may be asked in the combination of IR, internal security, economy and environment. Club करके पूछेगा. This time I am expecting a question combination of internal security and international relations. ठीक है? There will be a question with this particular combination with respect to one Western country, which I will talk when the question comes. I don't want to leak the question paper unnecessarily. GS paper 2 का देखो. What is this part? What is this part? What is this part? Related to paper 2 economy అని చెప్తే చంపేస్తా. Yes? Do you do specific preparation for governance? The answer is no. And what are the marks? Just see the marks. Eye opening. 70, 80, 130. तुम लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़े जा रहे हो, पूछ ही नहीं रहा है. लक्ष्मीकांत से कितने पूछा? हार्डली एनी. और इसमें से कितने पूछा? IR कहां से पूछा? Institutions, groups and agreements. What did I say? The paper is out, we can't see. That's the problem. We are all blind. Paper is out, but we are all blind. UPSC बोल रहा पढ़ लो, अब किसी को दिख ही नहीं रहा है. Nobody is able to read the paper. How will you come to know? The problem is that we are not able to see beyond the visual line of sight. That's the problem. You are not able to see what is behind this wall because we never made it a point to go and see what is behind this wall. And UPSC wants you to go and do this research paper wise and prepare for your paper next year. Very clear. This UPSC cannot hide, no? Paper 3, now known to be the most difficult part of your GS papers, that is paper 3, because of economy, because of environment, because of S&T, because of internal security and 4 dimensions primarily, majorly 4 dimensions. Okay? Now, economics, you will start with NCERTs. Once NCERTs you have read, once reading is done, you will not go back to NCERTs. Then afterwards you stick to economic survey and budget. Economic survey, why? Because every dimension of the economy would be covered in that. So even if the question does not come directly from the economic survey, you can write definitely about it. If you see this paper, just see how many marks came only from this dimension. Why are we failing to read this message? Why are we failing? इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी हाँ ठीक है 60-70 मार्क्स जनरली आ जाते हैं 50 to 60-75 मार्क्स तक आ जाते हैं बट वेयर इज द कोर इकोनॉमी गॉन इज माय क्वेश्चन वेयर हैज द कोर इकोनॉमी गॉन वेयर हैज द कोर इकोनॉमी गॉन $30 marks core economy or this he clubbed here, that's why he took 30 marks. If you see the paper, economy का concept है उसको science and technology में convert करके पूछा. So beautifully drafted paper, GS paper 3 this time 22. That is the reason why the highest who got in GS paper 2 got 102 only. People got 140 plus in paper 1, 140 plus in paper 2, 150 plus in paper 4, but the topper in paper 3 is 102, local guy. Understand why? Because he is making it critical to write. He is making it very critical to write. If you do not get this message loud and clear, then what are you preparing for? When you know the battle is not going to be here, the battle is more going to be here. Here. Now the problem is इन दोनों को मिला के he is going here. That's the problem. And to add to your problems, he is bringing in a dimension of current affairs. So गाय भैंस पानी में. Understand this. So that is how you have to understand. And इसके बीच में ये भी है. It has now come up as a segregated part of economy, agriculture, where he is linking it with economy, he is linking it with geography, linking with environment, linking with technology, linking with and asking a question to write. Not that easy to write, बहुत difficult है, believe me. When he is asking for something to be prepared by you, why are we not understanding the demand what he is asking us to do? Why are we struggling with that? Tell me, what is the problem? Why are we struggling? Deviation from core. Why? Why is that deviation? then going for writing the mains examination. Believe me, failing in mains is much more painful than failing in prelims. Why? Because the society will tell passing prelims was a blunder, was a fluke. That societal pressure will always be there. You will not be able to leave that pressure. So you have to prove that you did not pass prelims out of fluke. You deserve to pass the prelims paper. Only and only then you will be satisfied. And science and technology is one dimension. Only 2 questions asked last time. But the problem was he asked both 15 marker question. In science and technology, writing 3 pages, believe me, it is hell. HELL. Hamara content, it will not cross 1.5 page. So don't think it is easy to write because he is asking 15 marker question, he is giving 3 pages. So he is expecting you to know this scientific part of that Hubble telescope के ऊपर आया था. You read that article only as a passing reference, but he will ask a depth question based on that particular scientific invention. And if you are an arts student, you cannot write the answer. You have to have that science mind to write a 3 pages answer. जो तुम पढ़े हो उसके बारे में 2 पेज नहीं लिख पा रहे हो, जो नहीं पढ़े हो 3 पेज कैसे लिखोगे? And which has science, it means the question is basically, it means all the 3 pages you should know exactly, then only you will be able to write. इसीलिए तो नंबर नहीं आ रहे. The reason why people are not getting marks in this GS paper 3 is they are reading environment and science and technology purely from prelims perspective. That is where they are struggling to get the marks. In polity, in geography, in history, in society, in IR, you can write something and he will out of courtesy give you some marks. But in environment and science and technology, you cannot write because they are technical subjects. So please, when you prepare for mains, you tell me environment के कितने क्वेश्चन तुमने प्रैक्टिस किया आज तक लिखना, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी का कितने लिखा? नॉट इवन वन, unless and until you are part of some answer writing program on your own. You saw a scientific invention. Did you ever even think of writing a mains answer on that? No, because your mind never told you that you are supposed to write 65 means game changer hai. The same problem happened in 2014 when the All India first ranker, he got 64 or 66 in paper 3. Same problem happened in 2014. The topper, first ranker, got 64 or 66 in paper 3. And none of the papers he crossed 3 figure. Still the first rank. Because he nailed it in the essay, GS paper 4 and optional. He nailed it. And in none of the papers he got 3 figure also in the GS 1 to 3. Just imagine how he got saved. And इसमें 64 means you are out of the rank list. He still got 64. अगर एक GS में तुम्हारा आ गया तो बोरिया बिस्तरा बांध के गांव चले जाना, कोई फायदा नहीं. But this fellow managed not only to get rank, got the first rank, because that year mains was a very tough paper. Mains GS paper 1, 2, 3 was very tough. 2014 they were experimenting with the mains. 2014 and 15 was a tough. ठीक है, understand this dimension. Ethics, the most easiest paper of all. Huh? The most easiest paper of all. You can play football with UPSC. Every time it will be a goal. The problem is it will be a self goal. Huh? The problem is it will be a self goal. What is a self goal, Pawan? What is a self goal, Rahul? What is a self goal? Hitting in your own goal is a self goal. The goal that you are supposed to defend, if you hit in your own goal post, is called a self goal. एथिक्स एक ऐसा पेपर है, if you do not understand the demand of the paper well, question well, as I told you, just see the concentration of the marks in 2022 paper. Can you count this? पूरा पेपर भूल गया वो साला है करके. He concentrated only on these two and just one dimension, ethical concern, and 50 mark, he is out of his mind. Just it is a subset of foundational values. तुमको लास्ट वीक पढ़ाया, नॉट ए टॉपिक, नॉट ए चैप्टर. एक चैप्टर में एक छोटा सा पार्ट है, अभी इनको आया नहीं मैं एथिकल डायलेमास में. मे बी नेक्स्ट क्लास इज क्लास ऑन एथिकल कंसर्न्स एंड डायलेमा. सिंपल सबसेट उसके ऊपर पूछा. Why? Because the difference between normal dilemma and ethical dilemma is there is a value system under question. He is wanting to check what values you have, what values you miss as a person. Only one subset he gave. It is not, it is evidently visible, not 1 year. Still we are not studying. Oberoi sir చెప్పి చచ్చిపోతున్నాడు, చదవండిరా అని. జస్ట్ సీ దిస్, क्या किया, उड़ा दिया, लिटरली उड़ा दिया. ही गेव अ कोट, स्वामी विवेकानंद बोल के लिख दिया. उसके बाद थिंकर का थोड़ी है वो. इट हैज बिकम अ नॉर्मल एथिक्स क्वेश्चन. यू डोंट हैव टू राइट व्हाट ही फेल्ट, यू हैव टू राइट व्हाट यू फील. गॉन. Just imagine where he was giving so much of weightage, suddenly he made it, और मैं thinkers by heart करके चला गया और उसने पूछा ही नहीं. Just see one more topic. First chapter after the terminology, ethics in human action. How many? 50 marks, 50. मतलब ఒక్క చాప్టర్ చదివితే 1/5 of the paper is done. Just imagine. See how he is playing. Just see. Public funds, corporate. Neither in 21 nor in. इसका मतलब ये कभी भी 0 हो सकता है, ये कभी भी 0 हो सकता है, ये कभी भी 50 हो सकता है, ये कभी भी 60 हो सकता है. It means every damn chapter is important. Every vocabulary in ethics is important. Every terminology in ethics is important. Understand? Why the people from PSIR are doing good in ethics? I am not propagating PSIR. Why the people from PSIR are doing good in ethics is many of the concepts of PSIR are drawn from philosophical thought, and from philosophy and psychology combination the ethics as a subject is born, and what we are studying in this ethics is social ethics, one subset of ethics. What I am expecting this year question is, he will link environment with ethics, he will link science with ethics and ask a question to you. मेरे से लिख के ले लो, या तो केस स्टडी में आएगा या तो मेंस के थियोरेटिकल पार्ट में आएगा, जहाँ पे एनवायरनमेंट और साइंस दोनों को मिला के या अलग अलग, इफ यू आर लकी यू विल गेट अ डायमेंशन फ्रॉम लॉ. एथिक्स के साथ जोड़ के पूछे. नाउ टेल मी, इज देयर एनी चैप्टर in your preparation that you can miss? No. Starting from aptitude, attitude, emotional intelligence, ethics in human action, probity in governance, public service values, foundational values, everything becomes important. Understand? So that is the reason why whenever ethics as a subject is taught, it is taught from vocabulary in center. वोकैबुलरी को सेंटर में रख के पूरा डायमेंशन पढ़ाया जाता है. द रीजन वाई बिकॉज इज let him ask anything, you will be able to write, because you know the core dimension of that, what that particular word means to you. Understand this dimension. ठीक है? Now, most important part of the lecture is thanking all of you who have come for this seminar. Anybody from webinar, thanks a ton to all of them. We all know that the Diksha program is going on. It is a mains answer writing program. Please do continue writing. You will improve drastically. Even if you do not improve for any reason, at least you would have undergone one round of entire syllabus coverage. It will ensure quick revision for you. This is the reason why I am suggesting a particular dimension. Okay. There are some questions in online also, I think. What would one can do to stop indecisive and differing needs in regard to with UPSC CSC preparation? Dr. Lakshmi, what would one can do to stop indecisive and differing needs? See, this is not a pure UPSC question. Indecisive and differing needs. Basically, this lady is talking from the perspective of indecisive and differing needs. There are many students who cannot afford to only study. They have to probably work along with study. So, when it is indecisive and differing, what happens is once you join the job, because of your commitment to the organization that you are there connected to, you only delay your preparation. So, in that particular case, what I suggest is have a proper routine plan. Don't plan for more than 3 to 4 hours a day, just 3 to 4 hours. If you are working, the thumb rule is 3 to 4 hours of UPSC preparation. But if you stick to the routine plan without fail, believe me, your performance would be better than the person who is preparing 6 to 8 hours, provided you follow this routine without fail. Okay? Always remember, every year 40% of the lot which makes it in UPSC, they are working professionals. Why? Because they are serious with their preparation. For them, Adi Purushudu is not important. For them, UPSC is important. That is the reason why I have seen, I have taken classes for many weekend batches. Believe me, if the class is starting at 8 o'clock, 7:45, I am not exaggerating, the entire class is present. Entire class is present. Because they wait for the whole week for education to happen. That is the reason why I never see any student leaving from the class, talking over phone or seeing phone. Kabhi bhi nahi. And believe me, the class is 8 hours per day. Sorry, correction, 10 hours per day. 8 o'clock starts, 2.5 hours, 10:30. 10:30, 11 break. 11 to 1:30. 5 hours, 1:30 to 2:30. 1 hour break. 2:30 to 5, 2.5 hours. 5 to 5:30 break. 5:30 to 8, 2.5 hours. 10 hours class. The equation is simple. Every day 4 hours for GS students. 4 into 5, 20. 10 into 2, 20. What you learn in 5 days, they learn in 2 days. Faculty की वाट लग जाती है, वो बात अलग है. Because standing for 10 hours and teaching is very difficult job. And especially with teachers like me who don't believe in sitting while teaching. So understand, but they are vigilant entire 10 hours, rock solid attendance. Why? Because they are serious with their dream. Very, very important. if you are anywhere in the working professionals thinking of UPSC, this is the best strategy to prepare. ठीक है? And they prepare, they study well. I'm telling you. Why? Because पैसा भी खुद का लगा है, पापा का पैसा नहीं लगा है या मम्मी का नहीं लगा है, खुद का पैसा लगा है. So when you put your own hard-earned money as cost of education, you realize the value of it. So that is the reason why every year 40+% of the students who make it big in UPSC are working professionals. ठीक है? So please, the essence of today's paper was to make you realize what should be the approach for each and every subject, to each and every paper, to each and every question in the paper. That element of seriousness should come when you are preparing. You should have a proper strategy for UPSC, commitment, purpose, a desire, an emotion supported by knowledge. That's the reason why I started with Plato's remarks on education. This fellow, as I told, 50 years tak the doctrine of education as per Plato given in his world reckoned book, The Republic, not my imaginative words. He has written in The Republic that the education should be given till the age of 50, because the reception to knowledge will keep you grounded. The idea is that to keep a person grounded, very, very important. So understand the dimension. Don't think that education kab khatam hoga. No, if you get into service, every day is education. Every day is education. Okay? So anything else anybody wants to ask there in the classroom? No questions on the online? No? Chalo. Thank you very much for everybody who joined this session. Hope we can see drastic improvement in your approach to UPSC preparation. Okay? Chalo. Thank you very much.